Hi, welcome to my comic room. And normally I do these videos in less than a minute. However, there are certain things that need to be talked about that take a little bit longer. Like, for instance, certain defects. Now, over the years, I have collected comic books, both graded and raw. And the one defect I do try to stay away from is rusty staples. I just don't like them. I I figured this possibly is because it's a two-pronged defect. It's something that could possibly continue. It's not something that once you rip it, it's a rip. That's it. You be careful. You don't rip it again. However, when you get a rusty staple, if you have enough moisture in the air, it's just going to keep going. It's not going to end. And then, if it's really, really bad, it goes to the paper. It migrates there and causes a defect, which is even larger than it possibly could be or should be. Proper procedures, of course, is to make sure your room is at a steady temperature and, well, kind of moisture free. They do have dehumidifiers, which can take the moisture out of a room. Personally, in my comic room, I do not have any of this, but fortunately, it's not that humid. I really don't have to worry about it, and it's not like there's any moisture in the air in here. In fact, sometimes I wake up and my mouth is dry, which I have water next to the bed. But we're not here to talk about, my sleeping habits. We're here to talk about, well, rusty staples and how bad they are towards a comic book. Now, the one thing is I really don't know is when the book is actually graded, is the safety of the slab also being able to protect against the rusty staples, or is it something that continues to go on? This is something I really do not know. I would actually really have to do a longer experiment with that, look for them, buy them now, and open them up in 5 years. Except I don't feel like doing that. Rusty staples, they also can, well, degrade, fall apart, rip part of the paper because it makes it weaker. And eventually the book can fall apart from the staples, and then you can restore them with older staples or newer staples, depending on how far you want to save the comic book, which I'm not into restoration. And when I say I'm not into it, it means I just don't have the knowledge to properly restore a comic book. So rusty staples are one of those defects I do stay away from. They're not high grade at all. They can get a 9.6 for a very small amount of rust, and those are usually on newer books. But the older books you go back, you can downgrade it to a 6.0, or at least that's what CGC goes. Now, I have a lot of books, a lot of 0.5s, and not many of those have rusty staples, mainly because I do stay away from them. I do have a few, though, and most of the times I pick those up as a mistake. I would have stayed away, even though they were the 0.5s I coveted. And I guess on a final note about these rusty staples is they just plain suck. Anyway, thanks for watching. Collect what you love, and most importantly, be kind.